Hi, everyone. My name is Wilton Burgos. I'm a recruitment and admissions officer here at Bishop's University. I'm also a former international student from Aruba. So I'm very excited to be presenting on this topic today.
I'll chime in and then, well, you can begin. I'm also Aaron Wilbarger from the University of City University here in the United States, and we'll also be talking about our topic today.
So a little bit about, I guess, today's agenda in general. What does an international education mean? What will you benefit from an international education, and international student facts as well. So let me just keep it. Okay. So kind of like a general definition. So one of the definitions that I found online states that international education is an education that transcends national borders by the exchange of people. Like, for example, when students travel somewhere other than their home country for study abroad programs or for the entirety of their degree. I personally think that international education is way more than this and encompasses many different layers. The first one being developing citizens of the world in relation to culture, language, and learning to live together. I think whenever you go somewhere other than your home country or hometown, you're forced to face probably a completely different culture and than what you're used to, and also a completely different language. Then having to learn to adapt and be alongside this culture can also be very, very beneficial for students. Building and reinforcing students' sense of identity and cultural awareness. I think for anyone who's ever traveled and encountered different cultures, this just makes you a more well-rounded individual. And I think this also ties into cultural competence, which is our will and actions to build understanding between people, to be respectful and open to different cultural perspective, and strengthen our cultural security, hence strengthening your own identity. I also wanted to touch upon fostering students' recognition and development of universal human values. I think this is very important, seeing that our values help us understand and direct our attitudes and behaviors. All our important choices in life are directed by our values. Understanding these helps us understand ourselves and what motivates and directs our behavior as well. Stimulating curiosity and inquiry in order to foster a spirit of discovery and enjoying of learning. I find that this is probably one of the most important criteria for the simple fact that the whole purpose of an international education is to learn about other cultures and try out new things that you might end up enjoying way more than you think. Equipping students with the skills to learn and acquire knowledge individually or collaboratively, and to apply these skills and knowledge accordingly across a broad range of areas, always being able to relate to something much bigger than just you and applying your knowledge and experience wherever you decide to go is very, very important. Providing international content while responding to local requirements and interests, being able to go back home and share what you've seen and what you've learned with others, and being able to also apply all this knowledge that you've gained during your international education is something you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. And encouraging diversity and flexibility in teaching methods. And international education should expose you to new and conflicting paradigms. In the end, it should make you a better listener, a better observer, and ultimately a better innovator and communicator, because you take no one way of living as a default. You learn to choose to delay judgment of others and to care more freely as well. I don't know if Aaron has anything to chime in here or.
No, that's these are all kind of what Willem's talking about. Is these are all really good definitions of, and I'll kind of go into it also a little bit here in just a minute about being globally competent. And when we talk about global competency as a meaning that as a world traveler, that you can relate to other people and other cultures. And so.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna insert a quick poll. We're just gonna give everyone maybe a quick minute.
For sure, about language learning. And even if you're an English speaking, going to another English speaking, you're still, I mean, there's going to be dialects that are going to be different. For instance, here in the United States, you different regional areas, people have a different accent of some sorts. And so the English language can be even different and sometimes hard to pick up. But when you're there, you'll definitely know you're from that regional area. So yeah, I'm sure the same thing for Canada as well.
Yes. Okay. So now that we've kind of went a little bit more in terms of defining what an international education is, I also wanted to go a little bit more into what you will benefit from as an international student or seeking an international education. The first one being seeing the world. The biggest reason you should consider studying internationally is the opportunity to see the world. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love to travel. While studying internationally, you get to experience a brand new country with new outlooks, customs, and activities. Also, depending on where you decide to study, you'll probably get to visit new terrains, natural wonders, museums, and landmarks, and enriching yourself with more culture. In addition, when you're studying somewhere else, you'll most likely take advantage of going to neighboring countries as well. I personally have been to many US states. I'm studying here in Canada, and I've been also to many Canadian provinces. Secondly, education. Another reason you might consider studying internationally is the chance to experience a completely different style of education. Depending on where you come from, you might have studied in a completely different language and educational system. Also, depending on where you go, it might be more beneficial for the program that you're in to be exposed to that specific culture and language as well. And then thirdly, better your language skills. Chances are, if you are planning on studying internationally, one of the major draws is the opportunity to study a foreign language. Studying internationally gives you the opportunity to immerse yourself in a new language, and there's no better way to learn than to dive right in. Fourthly, career opportunities. When you finish your degree or program that you partake in and return home, you return with new perspectives on culture, language skills, or great education and a willingness to learn. These are things that are very attractive to future employers. And for students that love the country they study in and decide to stay, like me, employers tend to give preferences to students who have a local education, thus giving you a leg up when applying for jobs. Also, fifthly, finding new interests. If you are still consider whether or not to pursue an international education, you should know that studying in a different country offers many new activities and interests that you might never discovered otherwise. You also be given the chance to discover other and new exciting forms of entertainment, such as plays, movies, dancing, and concerts, just a few activities that you might enjoy. And then lastly, your own personal development. There's nothing quite like being on your own in a foreign country. You might find that studying internationally will bring out your independent nature. Students who are away from their home country become explorers of their new nation, and you'll really get to discover the curiosity and excitement that you harbor within. Another benefit to studying internationally is an opportunity to discover yourself while gaining an understanding of a different culture. Being in a new place by yourself can be overwhelming at times, and it tests your ability to adapt to diverse situations while being able to problem solve as well. Sorry. So Canada is really big. So these, I'm going to be going a little bit more into some stats that are a bit more specific to Canada, but Canada is big on living, learning, and succeeding. Living, Canada ranks first for best quality of life. Learning, 9 Canadian universities rank among the top 200 in the world. And succeeding, 5 Canadian universities rank in the top 100 for employability. And some additional international student facts. As of December 2019, there were over 600,000 international students in Canada at all levels. The two universities with the highest enrollment of international students in the first year were the University of British Columbia, McGill University, and Bishop's University. The top 5 countries with the most international students in Canada are India, China, South Korea, France, and Vietnam. And expenditures by international students contributing to the Canadian economy is a whopping $15.5 billion. And then a little bit more also about Canada's main startup industries. So if you are interested in going into any of these specific domains or industries, you can kind of get an idea as well as to where these hubs are largely prominent as well. So let me just do a quick poll. So I'll give everyone a quick, maybe 20, 30 seconds. I myself was an international student. When I first came to Canada, it was quite something to kind of adjust, especially coming from the Caribbean to such cold weather here in Canada. But for any other international students who might be hesitant about going to a specific country, we don't really hesitate it and just kind of go for it. So that is correct. Canada is ranked first for quality of life. And lastly, I had another poll to share. After this quick poll, I'll be passing it over to my colleague, Aaron. And that is also correct. As of December 2019, Canada has approximately over 600,000 international students at all levels. So I'll be passing it over to Aaron.
All right. Hopefully everybody can see this. So, as an international student, you're pondering, where do I want to go? And obviously, if you're part of this session, you're talking about either going to Canada or the United States. And so you heard quite a bit about Canada, and Canada's, obviously our neighbors to the north, but this is a great opportunity for you to learn not only to travels to US and Canada, but to get an understanding, and this is what we're trying to convey to you, as the importance of being an international, leaving your home country and then heading to another country, which can be pretty scary, and go to places like the US and Canada. So as we're talking about this, you'll hear possibly this word that we talk about being global competent, and we use this quite a bit. So you could be an international student that travels to your neighboring country, or that doesn't travel whatsoever, and you may interact with other internationals from other countries there. But there is a difference between someone that interacts with another country towards a person that actually leaves their country and then goes to a whole nother country for their studies. Not just for vacation. You're more than welcome to come to Disney World or Disneyland and all those places in the United States, or go to Canada. That's fine. Those are great places to visit, but you're not going to get the full aspect of being an international student. And so when we're talking about global competency, you have typically, if you're going to go to Canada or the United States, you're getting top quality. And as Walton talked about some of the schools in Canada, you're getting some really good quality. And that's also here in the United States, obviously. There are around 670 plus universities and colleges in the United States. So that's a lot. And I'm sure Canada has just as many too. So there's a lot of schools for you that you can choose to pick from. And they're all top quality schools. One thing when you are traveling, you have like kind of what Walton, I'm going to piggyback just a little bit of what Walton was talking about, was this open-mindedness. You'll have a sense to be able to cross-cultural talks and understand that culture versus your culture. Obviously, if you come to, like, we'll say the United States, you're going to get a very diverse culture. You're going to understand what the United States is all about. And in your region or area within even the United States, you're going to feel a different culture throughout the United States, and this different neighboring of what goes on. But you will not experience that if you stay in your home country and you're just visiting. Let's say I, as a person from the United States, goes and visit you in your home country. I can talk to you all I want about the United States, but until you actually get into the United States, you're not going to, really get that cultural experience. And I'm going to get into some statistics here in just a minute, but also your career opportunities, that dramatically will go up. Companies looking for students that go abroad is quite high. Obviously, if you're willing to move to a whole nother country for several years, you're going to become a risk taker, and you're going to have these learning life skills, these new skills of being not necessarily on your own, but being able to act on your own, away from parents, away from relatives, away from your friends that may be guiding you if you were in your home country. Now you're on your own. You're taking that risk. You're taking that step, and so those are things that companies definitely look for. That you're that risk taker that's feel comfortable to travel and to do things. And then, like I said, you're going to learn definitely some new skills, not only academically, but living in that country. You're going to learn to navigate around that country, or learn, everything from how do I pay, how do I use a credit card, how do I use a debit card, health insurance, all these things that may not be applicable at your home country, you're now going to start to navigate through. And so you'll understand that. And then obviously you're going to be able to communicate with major diverse. In the United States and Canada, there are people from all around the world that live, just like Walton, who moved to Canada and now is living in Canada, but taking his culture from where he came from to here, to Canada. There's millions of people who do that. And so you're going to be able to be interacting with that. So real quickly, I'll go through this. You're going to have these interactions not only with the neighboring people, but with university. You're going to be on campus. That's going to be your main focus, is studying. And so you're going to interact with students. And so I know in the United States, US people don't necessarily travel abroad so much. United States is not known worldwide for going abroad. But United States, people in the US love to interact with international students, especially when you're on campus, students per se, especially at our particular university. We love to have that interaction with the students. So normally you'll see that 2 to 10% of universities will accept international students on their campus, maybe even higher, sometimes a little bit less, depending on your university. And typically universities love for students to showcase their culture, give that aspect of where they come from on campus. So, and mostly importantly, and Walter could probably tell you this, the people that you interact, those students that you interact in your classes, you typically will remain friends with them. And you'll have this bond, whether they're from your country, whether from the United States, whether from Canada, even if you're, two different countries in the United States studying, you're still going to get these bonds. And those are everlasting bonds. And who knows who's going to be president of some particular university that you are classmates with, that you befriended, that is now some, CEO, some humongous company that you never know who you'll be interacting with. So some pretty cool statistics that I like to provide. And this talks to students who go abroad, not just the United States, not just Canada, but who go abroad. But this is really centered towards Canadians and United States going to the US. So think about this, 25% higher salary. Companies that choose students that have went abroad that are now going into the workforce typically have 25% of these people that go abroad have a higher percent of the salary starting. So that's pretty good, that you can be thinking about, that a company not only is willing to hire you, but also give you probably a better pay raise or a raise or an entry level position at a higher rate. And then 97% of graduates who study abroad found jobs. That's big time, especially because international students here in the US and also in Canada, different sort of immigrations between the two countries. But an international, finding a job can be hard sometimes. And so especially coming out of school. And so what we found is 97% of students that did go abroad found jobs. So that speaks volume to how companies are willing to hire you. And then this is a big one. By 2025, 45% of the world's largest companies will probably be based in emerging markets. Why is this important? Is because companies are investing in overseas, offshore type either we'll say branches. And so if you're staying abroad, companies opening a branch in another country and you had that ability to go abroad, they may be looking for you, like they understand that you have the capabilities, that you did do it. And so many companies will do these branches in other countries that are in emerging companies. And it may be your own country that they start a branch. And if you were there, that helps. And then 64% of surveyed employees said that graduates with an international background are more often given greater professional responsibility. It's, once you get out of school and you're working for that company, you want responsibility placed on you. That speaks volume for the company investing in you. So if a company is not investing in you, then you can work for that company, that's fine, but the abilities to give raises, the abilities to move up in that company may not be there. Where if you're looking at 64% of employers invested in people that did go abroad, that automatically places you in a category of, that separates you from people that, we'll say in the United States never went abroad. So it's just giving you, they believe in you more, and they believe, and this goes back to maybe that risk taking or that independency that you're capable of doing. And that this is also big, that nearly 5 million students are enrolled in higher education institutions outside of their own country. That's 5 million people. So that may not seem a lot. I mean, there's, if you think about it, everybody going to school somewhere around the world, 5 million may not necessarily mean a lot. But what this does is this places you in kind of an elite status, in an elite type group, that not everybody's going abroad. So if you're working with the company, now you set yourself apart. And so that's why I wanted to put that in there for 5 million, because you are in an elite type status when you travel abroad and you go overseas to get your education. And that's why it's important, I think, for you to actually do that. It does separate you. Okay, so this is kind of some numbers that myself and then we've been talking to you about going abroad, the importance of us of you going abroad, and we'll be glad to tell you more about it. Right now, I'd like to kind of go into I'll start off kind of with my particular university, and then we'll have Welton will kind of come in and talk about his particular university. So when I sit and I tell students, hey, I'm from Oklahoma City University. Typically, I got to explain where Oklahoma is. This is the United States. So I have a picture of the United States, and we are in the southern center portion of the United States. So what this basically means for us is that we are we're a metropolitan private university. So we are in Oklahoma City, hence Oklahoma City University. Oklahoma City is the largest city in the state of Oklahoma. So we're in the downtown area, as you can kind of see in the picture there. What this means for you is the connection with companies. So we have this great opportunity to work with companies. We bring in CEOs, we bring in people to give you kind of this real opportunity to showcase and for you to work on applications within your whatever major that you're working on. We're over 100 years old, so we're not new, and we've been in this same location for over 100 years. So we're well established within this area and within the city. We're 3,000 some odd students, so we're a little bit smaller university. We have 70 plus undergraduate programs, so we have quite a few undergraduate programs for you. We also have around 20 plus grad programs and a couple PhD type programs for you. And then we have 43 countries that are represented. This fluctuates, but the reason why I have that in there is for you to understand that we have students from all around the world that come to our university that try to get their education just like yourself. 200 plus international students. So we do roughly come around that 10% type population, international population. We are always listed in World News, what we call US News and World Report as within the private university sector. So we are ranked. We are known as kind of that hidden gem as far as, and what that basically means is based off price, quality of education, what we're able to do for our graduate students as far as placing them in jobs, is that we were best in the US as far as a hidden gem, as far as you have found a good school for you. And we have a 92% job placement rate. Only reason I put this in there is for you to understand that we do place our students, and we have a high quality of graduate students that do go on and get internships or full job placements. So at our universities, we have scholarships just specifically for international students. They can roughly range between 9,000 to 13,000. And then we also have athletic programs. So if you're athletic, we have scholarships for that. And then we have quite a bit of fine arts, well-known fine art program, highly ranked. And so we have some outstanding scholarships for that too. So if you do play an instrument or dance or an actor or any of that stuff, we have what we call kind of your talent type scholarships. Once again, we do have a campus. We are a campus, so we do have dorms or hostels, whatever you may call them, on our campus for you to stay. And those are capable, they're on our campus. They're incorporated within your tuition, all that stuff. And we do have food court. So if you're kind of like myself, when I was a student, I had no idea how to cook. And so I can just run over to campus and get whatever I wanted and eat there. So that's good. But we also have some, if you do want to cook, you can. We are currently, because we're in the downtown area, we have several different regions or areas or markets. And the biggest market that we have is the international market. It's our Asian market, which includes Southeast Asia and Asia. So India, Pakistan, all those type of places. We have those food court areas, restaurants, markets, food markets, all those right next to us. Some of the cool things about our programs, and I'll kind of speed this up for you, Walton, but some of the cool things about our programs is that we have internships incorporated within these programs. That's beneficial for you because when you graduate, one of the great things that helps separate us from other universities, when you graduate, you'll have an internship. So on your resume, not only will you be able to incorporate, I have a degree, but you'll have an internship. And then when you graduate, you'll have another internship. So that's 2 internships on top of your degree that you're able to incorporate in your resume, even before you step back to your home country. And that speaks volume, that separates you for you to get jobs afterwards. We do have because we're a smaller university, we have that smaller class size feel. And so that's important really, is because you get that one-on-one connection with the professors. They help you through things. You're not just a number. You're not just, a student in this huge, humongous classroom. They don't know anything about you. That's not the case here. They get to know you, and how we have such a success rate with our getting students with internships afterwards is because of that, because our professors invest in you and they get connected with companies and they suggest when a company says, hey, I need a student to do some programming for me, or I need a student to do this and that with some business. That's there, that's capable. The student can provide, or the professor can provide that. So we also bring in several different CEOs and companies, and we try to provide applications for actual working. So instead of a professor just talk, and you doing lectures and writing and all that stuff, you're actually working on companies solicit projects that they've done or that they're trying to work on, and you actually work on those. You're actually doing those for real world companies. Case in point, we have a company that gives us over $1 million every year. And our business students sit there and invest that $1 million and as part of our finance program that they invest that. And that's actual money. That's actual work that you're doing. And that's real life stuff that you're working on. On top of that, we have undergraduate and graduate researches. So that's important too. So you're kind of getting that research feel. And that's separate from actually doing real work application. You're actually doing research and stuff like that. So that gives you some idea on that. As far as the mission stuff, everything is online and I can send you more information. We don't require an SAT or an ACT to apply. You don't need to mail your documents. It's what we call slow mail. No need to mail it. Just upload your documents onto the application and we can start working with you on that. For some of our graduates, for the majority of our graduate programs, we don't require a GMAT or GRE. And then we provide application waivers. So if you're just wanting to know, hey, can I get accepted? Can I know the scholarship? What's kind of going on with me? We can provide that for you. So this is my information right here, but I'm going to pass this on back over to Walton here, if I can do that. Maybe.
You can just stop sharing your screen and then Bolton will reshare.
Oh yeah, sorry. I got
no worries.
multiple screens here moving. So anyways.
Perfect. And just for a time check, we have 10 more minutes.
Sorry.
I'll quickly go through it. Hi, everyone. My name is Wilton Burgos. I am a recruitment and admissions officer here at Bishop's University. I hope everyone can see my screen all right. Is that good? Yes. So Bishop's University was founded in 1843, making Bishop's University older than Canada itself. We are a smaller institution with just about 3,000 students, 25% of which are international students, with over 30 US states represented and over 80 countries around the world. And if you guys get a glimpse behind these awesome students, you get a little bit of our campus. With just over 500 acres of land, including cross-country skiing trails right on campus and also biking trails right here on campus. 97% of our students live within walking distance of campus, making us a very, very tight-knit community here at Bishop's University. A little bit more about where we are located. Bishop's University is this little red dot right under here, under Sherbrooke. It is the French province of Quebec. And although French is the official language of Canada, of Quebec, you do not need to speak any French in order to attend Bishop's, seeing that Bishop's is an English language institution. Although I'd like to add, if there are any students who are looking to pick up another language, this is the perfect place to do so, seeing that we are located in a French province. I myself, as an international student, did not speak a word of French when I came to Bishop's, but did take advantage of our reduced Quebec tuition rates for French courses here at Bishop's. To just kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of where we are. We're about an hour and a half from Montreal, 2 hours from Quebec City, 2.5 hours from Ottawa, 4 hours from Boston, and 7 hours from Toronto. So we're still pretty centralized, giving students a lot of areas to go ahead and explore. We are a liberal arts institution. So just for clarification, liberal doesn't have anything to do with politics, and arts doesn't have anything to do with our programs as well. The meaning of liberal arts is basically that you can mix and match any of our majors and minors or any of our programs that we have here at Bishop's University. I always like to draw on the example that if you have an interest in psychology or the arts or maths or science or whatever, you can very easily mix and match these programs. So at the end of your degree, you've tailored it into something of your own and you've made your degree into your own as well. So we do have 4 faculties here at Bishop's. First, we have the School of Education, which is one of the best education programs, if I might say so myself, here in Canada, for the simple fact that we offer over 700 hours of practicum. So students will already be in the classroom during the first semester. The students are interested in becoming a teacher. They can kind of get a feel for it their first semester already. We also have natural sciences and mathematics, so everything from physics, chemistry, biology. We have humanities and social science, English, psychology, history, and we also have the Williams School of Business. Offering a variety of different programs such as human resources, finance, accounting, business analytics, and much more. So a little bit more about our admissions requirements. This varies depending on where you come from and your academic background, but we overall do look for an 80 average or 3.5 out of 4 GPA and also a completed high school diploma. And if you have not studied at an English or French school, we do require an English proficiency test, and this can come in many forms, such as the TOEFL, the IELTS, the Cambridge English Proficiency, the Cambridge English Advanced, the CAEL, the International Baccalaureate, and also the Duolingo English test. So a little bit more about our tuition. As an international student, you are looking at approximately 27,000 Canadian dollars for tuition and fees for the entire year, 10,000 Canadian dollars for accommodations and meals, and $1,300 for books and supplies, with an estimated total of 40,000 Canadian dollars. A little bit more about how to apply. First, you visit our website, www.bishops.ca, complete the online application and pay the application fee. Submit your supporting documents. Once you've received an offer of admissions, accept your offer online by June 1st. Fill out the application for additional awards and bursaries. International students should apply for a Quebec CAQ and Canadian study permit as soon as they receive their acceptance letter. And also, once you've accepted your admissions, offer for apply for residence. Since it is a first come, first served basis, we do offer residence as well on campus. And some important dates and deadlines. August 1st, online application for fall 22 open. So if students are interested, please do submit your application starting on fall 2022. We also have competitive scholarship deadlines, awards, and bursary on March 1st. So if you do apply before March 1st, you'll already be automatically considered for these competitive scholarships. We also have our preliminary document deadline for all applicants is May 15th. Residence application deadline is June 15th, and official final document deadline is September 15th. If you guys are interested in seeing a little bit more of our campus, you can book a virtual tour and you can see what our campus has to offer. You can go on our website, www.bishops.ca, and you can follow the steps on booking a virtual campus tour. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is right here on wburgos@ubishops.ca. And it was a pleasure presenting and being here with you guys today.
Let me do a few questions here that kind of relate to both of us real quick. A lot of it has to do we accept certain countries, I guess, transcripts, whatnot. So I have one, do you accept the CSEC? I'm assuming that's the Caribbean, possibly, what is it, the Caribbean Examination Council? CSEC, maybe?
CSEC. We do.
Oh, no. I don't know. maybe I'd probably say, okay, so if we're talking about high school examinations, most likely yes. We're pretty much open to all examinations, especially if this is your national exam. Yes, the Oklahoma City University would accept that. So.
Just like Aaron mentioned, for us as well, if it is a standardized test in your home country, we probably would accept it as well. And we do look at applications on a case-by-case basis as well.
Mhm. Another one, same type scenario, O levels, A levels, obviously ordinary levels, advanced levels, same case. We look at both those to determine your acceptance into the university. GPAs, and we can convert GPAs. Do you provide full tuition scholarships? Well, you can go ahead and then I can piggyback off that.
We do not provide full tuition scholarship. All our scholarships are merit-based scholarships. So depending on your grades, the better your grades, the better possibility of receiving a scholarship. Our scholarships vary from $800 to up to 20,000 Canadian dollars. So it's not covering your entire tuition, but it does cover a significant portion, depending obviously on your grade and if you do submit your application before the awards and bursary deadline.
Yeah, that's the same for us. We do have scholarships, like you're saying, from 9,000, 13,000 USD, but not full-time scholarships. Some of our talent scholarships and our athletic scholarships could be a little bit more. And you could also get what we call stackable type scholarships, which is academic, like as Walton was saying, is they're merit-based. So based off your GPAs of what you've done so far. That determines, but we also have stackable, which departments could have some scholarships availability for you, where you can stack both of those and hopefully accumulate some more. Do you offer masters in computer science? GRE.
I just had replied to that. Yes, we do. So please visit our website, www.bishops.ca, and you can find a bit more information. Or if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me directly via email, wburgos@ubishops.ca.
Yeah, that's right. And we do too. Like same thing, just feel free to contact us. I actually put my contact information in the chat. So you can refer to that, and feel free to email me, and then I'll get you connected and give you more information about that.
Amazing. So this is perfect timing here. Thank you both, Aaron and Wilton, for the presentation. It was very insightful, and I'm sure everyone got what they came for. So both Aaron and Wilton have booths in the exhibit hall. So make sure to check them out, and they'll be here the rest of the day if you have any other questions for them. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Bye now.